everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com and I'm back with another quick news update. We have some news on the whereabouts, but the goings on in the lives of CM Punk and AJ Lee, and it involves another medium of entertainment, not professional wrestling. We also have news on the whole Hulk Hogan return. He's been reinstated to the WWE Hall of Fame and various reactions to that. Importantly, The New Day released a very well-worded statement, I think, which we'll delve into a little bit later on, and also some news on Titus O'Neil's potential reaction or potential lack of reaction. Essentially, we're going to clear up a lot of the rumours surrounding that, because there were various reports online that he'd stormed out, that he wasn't happy with Hogan, and there were other reports saying that there was like a split in the locker room, 50-50, between particularly black superstars who some of them were accepting of his return, some of them weren't too accepting of him being reinstated into the Hall of Fame. So we're going to delve into all of that and try and decipher what actually went down. So let's crack on and get into all of the news. So it's been reported by various outlets that CM Punk and AJ Lee, his wife, have been, both former WWE superstars of course, have both been cast in a horror movie, an upcoming horror movie, and I have some details on that, although to be honest with you, my area of expertise is not horror movies, but we'll see how I do. The film is called Rabid and is a remake of a 1977 horror flick of the same name. I have some details right here. CM Punk is known as Billy. His character is going to be Billy, lovely, Billy Boy Punk. Just Billy. AJ Lee will play Kira, who I believe is his wife in the movie as well as in real life, so in kayfabe, as the business calls it. The official press release from the movie says this: drawing influence from the original movie, the remake is set in the seductive and glamorous world of high fashion and will follow Rose, played by Laura van der Voort, a young woman whose disfigurement after an accident leads to a radical and untested stem cell treatment. While turning Rose into the belle of the ball, the experimental transformation comes at a price. This is why I don't like horror movies, man. It's always a bit creepy, isn't it? There's always something going wrong, always risks being taken, always a comment on the arrogant and hubristic nature of the human race. And what does that mean? How will Punk and AJ Lee fit into that? I'm just waffling. I have no idea what the film's about. I have no idea what's going to happen. But the title, Rabid, seems to indicate to me that the procedure might turn her into a bit of maybe a wolf creature, maybe some sort of killer. I honestly don't know. I'm just riffing. But if horror movies are your thing, or if anything CM Punk's involved in is your thing, then be sure to keep up to date with it and check it out. That's Rabid, a remake of a 1977 beloved horror classic. Now, in more wrestling-centric news, The New Day have released a statement which you can find the full sort of excerpt of on Twitter, on Kofi Kingston's Twitter specifically. Basically, their response to Hulk Hogan's reinstatement in the WWE Hall of Fame, and perhaps a wider comment on the surrounding rumours and the building momentum with regards to Hogan, returning to WWE in an on-screen capacity as well. In a very sort of classy, well-worded statement, The New Day have expressed that, while they don't harbour any particular sort of ill will to Hogan, they do still have a firm stance on those who've made comments like his in the past and who belittle any race, not just their own. They said that, they're not going to harbour any ill feelings towards him or hate on him, I guess would be the term, but they are going to just avoid association with him. They've also said that maybe, without naming Hogan directly, they've said if those sort of people do make a real attempt to sort of change their ways and to make right what the wrongs they've done in the past, then maybe their own opinions towards those sort of people will change as well. So I guess if you get to the bones of that, it means that the New Day aren't really interested in interacting with Hogan on any sort of personal level, but will continue to move forward in their own careers without it affecting them too much. And also, interestingly as well, that last little part seems to suggest that not only do they, would they be willing to work with Hogan or forgive him if he was to change his ways, but the interesting part of that to me is that they don't seem to buy into this whole Hogan's change thing. They don't think he's really made a change yet. Hogan's been giving talks, I believe, and that sort of stuff outside of the wrestling business about his own mistakes and, how you can avoid that or how you should really correct that if you've done it yourself. But at the same time, the New Day don't seem to see that as any sort of true recompense. And to be quite brutally honest with you, I'm pretty much siding with the boys, with the New Day. And finally, according to Raj Giri of Wrestling Inc., a source within WWE has told him and has cleared up sort of some of the controversy and some of the mystery surrounding Titus O'Neil's own reaction to Hulk Hogan's return. Now, reportedly, Hogan was there at the stadium at Extreme Rules backstage in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where he gave a talk to the whole locker room, basically apologising for his past transgressions and saying that he's going to change and all that sort of thing. Well, that he already has changed, I suppose, would be the way he'd want to put it across. There were reports that Titus O'Neil stormed out when he saw Hogan backstage, but according to Raj Giri of WrestlingInc.com, his source told him that actually Titus was seen leaving the arena simply because he wasn't on the card. He actually sat there for the whole talk and then just left because he wasn't needed for the rest of the show. Mark Henry's also had some interesting things to say recently about Hogan's presence backstage at Extreme Rules. He said that talking to the black members of the locker room, he said it's kind of split 50-50. Some of them are perfectly willing to accept Hogan back and to say, you know what, it's forgiven, everything's changed, all that sort of thing. Whereas the other 50% are kind of less willing to see it in that sort of way. Their attitude is very much still, what have you done? Why are you here? We have no interest in welcoming you back into the fold. So a lot of various different opinions there from people both inside and outside of WWE regarding what is, of course, a very controversial and complex situation. Let me know what you thought about any of these news pieces, including the CM Punk one at the start, bloody horror movies and stuff, hooray, in the comments section down below. And thank you very much for watching this video. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. You can follow me if you want on Twitter at Jack the Jobber. You can follow all of us at Cultaholic and check out our Patreon as well, patreon.com/Cultaholic. And never forget, before I leave you, of course, to hit that subscribe button and to join us.